COD Zombies is the best thing to ever come out of Call of Duty. And that entirely comes down to two things. Those two things being maps and a focus on survival gameplay. They go hand in hand, and when the maps and the survival gameplay is good, it is so good, nothing else beats it. And if neither one of these two things are given 100% effort by the developers, the whole game suffers. Sometimes that can be just one map heavily suffers, and sometimes the entire mode suffers. I want to go through and I want to take a look at every single Zombies map. And I want to start that with the map that changed everything. The map that started Call of Duty Zombies. The map that changed COD. Nacht der Untoten has appeared the most out of every single Zombies game, that being originally being the first ever map in World at War, being part of a pre-order bonus with Black Ops 1, it appeared in Transit on Black Ops 2, it was part of Zombie Chronicles as well as part of the Revelations map in Black Ops 3 Zombies, didn't really show up for Black Ops 4, and was completely remade from the ground up in Black Ops Cold War, and then it didn't appear for Black Ops 6, 7, or Modern Warfare 3, or any of the non-Treyarch Zombies games. Aside from the D-Machine complete reimagining in Black Ops Cold War, all other versions of Nacht der Untoten are virtually the same. Thus, I'll be using the Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles version, mostly because I think Black Ops 3 has the best mechanics. It has the Wonder Fizz added to all Zombies Chronicle maps, so that way you have perks. I think the guns are better, and in general, I just really like Black Ops 3 as a survival zombies game. I think it's the best, and that's the one I'll be using just for the sake of fun. But just know, every point that I make about Nacht der Untoten is applicable across all versions except for D-Machine, as that is a completely different map that just so happens to feature Nacht der Untoten. Also, I guess it also applies to Transit, but you can technically play an entire game of zombies on Nacht in Transit. You just have to find it in the middle of a cornfield and have all your guns and perks already bought, but still, I digress. Anything I say here applies to any standalone version of Nacht der Untoten. With all that, Nacht is a very simple map. You spawn in, and in the spawn room, you have 2 wall buys and 5 windows for the zombies to pour into. At the windows, you can rebuild barriers for 10 points each, and you get about 100 points per round from rebuilding barriers. Your 2 guns both cost about 500 in most games, sometimes 600 and 200, depending on which version of the map you're playing, and the starting room weapons can usually change. But typically, in almost all versions of the game, you spawn with a pistol and can then buy a slightly stronger $500 gun just to help you survive. There are 2 doors, each costing 1,000 points. The help door will bring you to what I like to call the mystery box room. There you have a few more windows and wall buys. Usually this room is full of shotguns on the walls. And you of course have the mystery box for 950 points. Spinning it will give you either a random gun, sometimes a specialist weapon, which is just like a super special gun. The wonder weapons, which are, the wonder weapons, like the thing you want. You got your ray gun, your thunder gun, they're the wonder weapons. You don't really need to explain them. There's also the flamethrower in the World at War version of the map, which might as well be a wonder weapon. Infinite ammo, but you do have to make sure you have a cooldown period, or else the gun will overheat. You can also get monkey bombs and other tacticals and lethals. Again, this all varies depending on which version of the map that you are playing and which game. From there, you can then buy some stairs for another 1,000 points, and then you can go up to the lookout area or the roof. Here, there's a bunch more wall buys. You can buy Stimtexes or Claymores, depending on which version of the game. And in Black Ops 3, you even have the Wonder Fizz, where for 1,500 points, you can get a random perk, that being from Black Ops 3. Usually you can get the standard 4, that being that being Juggernog, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Stamina Up, Double Tap, Widow's Wine. Sometimes you can get PhD, and other times it's usually just the standard 4 perks, plus Deadshot Daiquiri, and, nothing really special from the Wonder Fizz. Again, pretty much ignore it because it doesn't matter for Nocturne Toad as a map. And then there's a final set of stairs that you saw in the spawn room that you can buy, which will now lead you into a full circle around the map. Most strategies in Noct involve buying either the help door to get to the mystery box room, or buying buying both staircases. Typically, you don't want to have both spawn room doors open, as doing so will ruin any strategy within the map. That being camping next to the Stimtexes, next to the closed-off staircase going towards spawn. That's just really good for camping in a corner. The zombies kind of have to pour into you, and there's nowhere really for them to go. There's nowhere really for you to go. And then there is training in the mystery box room. This strategy does work better if you have the help door closed, which does mean you have to buy a wall gun and build up points to buy $2,000 doors, just to make it in with the help door closed, so that way you can spin the box. And zombies will just pour down from the stairs, which, due to hand railings and how map geography works in older Zombies games, it kind of railroads them into going in one direction, kind of like a meat grinder in a way, or a blender, I suppose. Now, of course, this being the first video where I am taking a look at an individual Zombies map, I will also use this as an opportunity to go over zombie mechanics in general. For starters, every time you shoot a zombie, 1 bullet equals 10 points. 50 points, roughly, for each kill using bullet weapons. Of course, you can get extra points for getting headshots, or sometimes it's actually better just to shoot the zombies in the knees and then knife them, because knifing automatically gives you 100 points. So I guess if you unload 8 rounds into the zombie's knees and there would be on technically 1 HP, then you can knife them. So you'd get about 180 points per zombie that way. Again, because zombies in these old games have very defined weak points. You shoot them in the head, you get like 50 to 80 points, but then you don't get as many points overall because now the zombies die quicker. Certain amount of zombies each round, with both their health and the amount of zombies scaling, the higher the round you get. Also, whenever you spawn in, you have some grenades that you can throw. You throw a grenade, you'll get roughly about 80 points throwing it into a herd. I don't really know how the game calculates how many points you get from a single grenade. It's just kind of, you gotta hope that when the grenade blows up, the frag pieces hit multiple zombies. And typically, grenades are really good for making crawlers. They're slower zombies that have to crawl around with their entire torsos blown off. And they're really great for when you need to spin the mystery box, or do an Easter egg step, or drink a perk at the end of the round, because, it's a slow-ass zombie that you don't have to worry about, so you can do whatever you need to do before starting the next round. It's kind of like a mid-game pause button, but you pause the round progression instead of the game as a whole. The goal of Call of Duty Zombies is incredibly simple. It is survival. Survive as long as you can. The better of a player you are, the longer you can survive, and the cooler, I guess, you are. You can just say, hey, look at me, I got to round 35 on Nocturne Totem BO1, ooh, look at me. There's really nothing to Nocturne Totem outside of its simple survival elements. You can play solo, or you can play with up to 3 other friends. You can do 4-player. It's just a simple game mode. What you see is what you get. There's no story, there's no real depth outside of the game mechanics. I mean, there is story that is retroactively added by future maps, but the story of Nocturne Totem is you're just 4 nameless soldiers who find yourself in a bunker with Nazi zombies, and then you eventually succumb to the horde and fucking die. All in all, I would sum up Nocturne Totem as this. It's a very simple map that knows exactly what it wants to be, and knows exactly what it wants to do, It knows exactly what it is, and it knows exactly what its strengths and weaknesses are, and it plays to those like a T. This game mode is its first impression, so getting that right is the most important thing that Nocturne Totem could have ever done. It gave us the core Zombies formula that no matter what, no matter how big and bombastic the story gets, no matter how in-depth the mechanics may become, as long as whatever maps come out in the future stick to the core of Zombies that Nocturne Totem laid out right here today, the map will do just great. I personally think Noct is a lot of fun, and honestly, it's probably one of my top 5 Zombies maps, if not my number 1, purely because it is Zombies. Everything Noct is pure, unfiltered Zombies. The zombies come at you, they come at you hard, and you either survive or you die. There's no real hand-holding. Yes, I do prefer the Black Ops 3 version with stronger guns, more bullets in your guns, as well as the ability to buy perks and having more wonder weapons, which allow you to actually make the game easier. But then again, BO3 zombies, they do move faster, they get stronger, and more of them come through windows the higher the rank you get than on a game like World at War, where Nocturne Totem is hardly capped at 24 zombies per round. So if you're playing the original World at War version, it's actually the easiest version of the map you can play. I would say Black Ops 1 is probably the hardest, with Black Ops 3 being a close second. All in all, as long as Zombies sticks to this formula, nothing will ever go wrong. Which is why I'm giving not just this map, but also the overall game mode a solid 8 out of 10.